The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
Hello, C. Willie.
Good morning.
And thanks again for popping by. Anything new in the last week? We had you in last week. You didn't do any shows over the weekend, did you?
No, man, I had a blessed weekend.
A blessed weekend, nothing to do.
Nothing to do, man. That's what I call a
outstanding.
blessed weekend. Because I got it back to back this week.
There's nothing
starting
better than
Thursday.
doing. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I have a back to back this week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have 3 theater shows back to back.
Yeah, we got a couple of people who text in and said they're going to see you on Friday.
I'm on Thursday. I'm up at Spring Lake
Okay.
Park at the theater there. Then I'm down in Faribault at the Paradise Center for the Arts on Friday. And then Saturday, I'm at the Fairmont Opera House down in Fairmont, Minnesota.
Excellent.
So I got a bit of Minnesota trifecta going on this
Yeah,
week.
you do. How long is it now that you've been doing stand-up comedy? Hell, you were telling us a story earlier from 1995. You were talking about you and Toby Keith. 19. When did you start stand-up comedy?
30 years ago. August was 30 years.
That's impressive, man.
Isn't that funny? Because this week will be our 25th anniversary of this program. Right, Josh?
Yeah, this Saturday.
This Saturday will be 25 years of this
Is
program.
that right?
Yeah, yeah. What did you do before comedy? What were some of the jobs you held before comedy?
Well, before...
Or did you not have much? Because you went right from college.
No.
There was some time there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I had a few years in between.
What were you doing?
Right out of college, I wound up working in the hospitality industry and coaching. So I coached basketball and football at St. Cloud State. I was assistant football and basketball coach. And after that, I moved to Minneapolis, and I was in the hospitality industry and doing comedy at the time. And then I left the hospitality industry, and I did radio. I was at 90 over on Solid Gold Soul. I started with smooth jazz with Freddie Bell, who's now in the the Minnesota Broadcast Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Tell them we'll see him soon.
Yeah, save a spot. So Freddie Bell. So we did the Solid Gold Soul morning show for 6 years.
That's great.
So was stand-up comedy always the goal?
Always was the goal.
That was the goal.
And I just needed something. You got to have insurance, and when you're doing comedy, you got to buy your own. But if I kept a job, I kept a base until comedy would be the ticket. Mm-hmm. And so when I could make enough money to pay myself a salary, then incorporate myself and do it right instead of so you don't ever have those broke jokes.
Right.
Like when I drove a hoopty or I lived in the basement of some strange person's house. I don't have those stories. It sounds bougie, but no, I didn't want to be that way. I had 2 kids. I had 2 kids, and I wanted to make sure I had a place for them to come and a car to go pick them up. And if they ever got sick, I could take them to the hospital.
Who of us thinks they had the worst job before we signed on the dotted line for this nightmare? Who of us thinks they had the worst job? I mean, I know a lot about what all of us did before radio, and none of it sounded that bad to me. I don't know. Dana, you did... didn't you hand out prizes via a slot machine at the Mall of America? What was that?
Camp Snoopy, I worked in the Midway where you shoot a ball into the hoop, or you try to defy physics by landing a ping pong ball in a floating dish in water.
Right,
Yeah,
kind of the mini Midway type of a job.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now that, to me, I don't know if I would love that much because I don't know, interacting with people sometimes can get on my nerves, but you seem to have liked that job.
I love that job, absolutely.
So I don't know if any of us really had a brutal pre-radio job.
I hated my job quite a
Wapples had some
bit.
kitchen jobs I think would be awful.
Well, Wapple was a cook.
Yeah, Wapple loves to cook, though.
But you liked it for the most part, or what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the day and the time. You're
kind of a crabby peckerhead too sometimes, So
yeah, if it
Give
was
your
like,
moments.
if it was like dinner rush on a Sunday or Saturday and you're just getting your ass whooped. Oh man, that's brutal.
Ashley, you hated one of your pre-radio jobs?
Yeah, I absolutely hated being a server.
But you did it for
the
quite-
money was nice because the money keeps you in it, but I mean, it got to the point where it was like every day when I'd get there, I'd think about just going back in the freezer and just crying for a while. People are so terrible.
Yeah.
If you're, trying to serve them in some way, and it was awful. And like never having your weekends. I could never imagine going back to a job where you don't get to like go home on a Friday and then be gone for a couple days,
But wasn't it kind of...
Yeah, tell us about that, C. Willie.
I can't do it
Welcome
anymore,
to my world.
Yeah,
I had a job I didn't care for too much. It was I worked like with these two older ladies at a I'll call it a restaurant, like kind of a restaurant, sandwiches and soups and salads and stuff like that.
All right.
Inside an office building just for the people that worked in the office.
Oh.
I don't know if you ever told us that.
Yeah, I did that for, I don't know, a summer maybe.
So you're seeing the same people kind of every day?
Yeah, pretty much. And it was just like, like these women were ball busters. They owned the thing.
The women you worked with.
Yeah, they were just...
They were kind of tough to work for.
Oh, yeah, really tough.
Poor Josh.
It doesn't sound like terribly high demand.
It was just like it wasn't...
A lot of downtime, I bet, just making sandwiches and soups
Yeah,
for
a lot of prep time.
Prep for the people in... I don't know if you ever told us that story.
It was more just there wasn't like, at other restaurants, I'm whittling carrots into penises with my coworkers.
Yeah,
And I wasn't
people your age.
able to do that here.
I mean, all the jobs that I had before radio. I mean, as you guys know, it was multiple warehouse style jobs, and then I drove the Zamboni. We had fun. We had a riot. My coworkers and I at the warehouses. All we did was play pranks on each other. The Zamboni gig, of course, that's not a tough gig. And when the day was over, I had all the free ice time. My buddies and I would come out and we'd play hockey all hours of the night.
I loved mowing lawns. Absolutely loved it. I loved landscaping, although I couldn't do that now. There's no way I could do that anymore.
You'd be physically torn to shreds.
I couldn't do it.
So I think we all were pretty lucky. And Ashley, back to your serving job, you can never make any plans on the weekend. Like C. Willie Miles works weekends. That's just how it's built, for stand-up comedy. Friday, Saturday nights are your big nights. But here's the thing. Tell me if I'm way off here, Ashley, and of course C. Willie can comment on this too. Working here at the radio station, of course, we do, or at least I used to do a lot of bar gigs. I got to know a lot of bar staff. Pav's up in Andover. What was the joint down in Apple Valley that your wife... Bogarts. And those were two places I went to all the time. The place in Inver Grove Heights, Wapple, Jake's Bar?
Oh,
I thought you were in Inver Grove. You go down that way.
Jerseys?
Jerseys, that's it.
Yeah.
Jerseys. Yeah. Anyway, the vibe that I got from the staff, because their Fridays and Saturdays were all booked up because they had to work, they turned their Mondays and Tuesdays into their... I was always really jealous of that.
Well, yeah, that always works, but you're the only one that's not working.
Right.
So you have no one else to hang out with. Nothing's open.
You had to hang out with your fellow staff members because they're the only...
Right.
But I always being... You know how it is in this business, especially in mornings, Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty miserable. You know, you're tired from the weekend. The work week has just begun. I was always jealous when I'd go to the bar on a Monday night just for a quick 2 beers, and there's that restaurant staff crowd, that are booked up on Fridays and Saturdays, just raising hell on a Monday night.
Yeah,
Industry night.
That was pretty cool. That was a little bit of the perk, yeah.
That's the term, industry night.
Yep.
Right.
I always thought that's got to feel pretty cool to be able to just get blasted off on a Monday night, and then you got nothing to do on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think in Woodbury, I think that was Tuesday nights was industry nights. So you could actually go to other bars that were in on it, and they would, if you bring in your clock out sheet, say you even worked like earlier that day, if you bring in your time sheet, they'd give you a free beer or like 50% off or whatever. It was cool.
See, Willie Miles, when you're working Friday and Saturday nights, if you want to go see a movie or spend some time, is that when you do it Monday, Tuesdays?
Oh, absolutely.
That's your Friday,
during the
Saturday.
day, man. I mean, that's the beauty of working at night like I do is I have all day to kill. I do a bit on stage about I got 23 hours and 15 minutes to kill every single day. I work 45 minutes a night. Unless I do a theater show, then you're doing a 90-minute show. But still, like I could sleep in every day, unless I got to get up in the morning to do radio or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be nice not having an alarm clock to wake up to every day. You just kind of wake up on your own.
Yeah, but I'm an early riser though too. So I'm an old entertainer. So I like to get up in the morning, get my breakfast in me, go get a workout in.
Yeah, you don't want to waste your day.
No, I don't want to waste my day. My father was like, see the whole day. Get up and breathe before people start yarning and burping and farting. That's fresh air. The freshest air is like between 4:30 and 7:30.
Oh, I like that.
That's fresh air.
First one out of the sack. Yeah, you're going to be breathing fresh air.
Right.
Until all those smelly bastards in the house wake up.
Walk in front of your fart. You'll never smell it. That's what my dad was hilarious.
We've all been pretty lucky then. What I have here, I mean, we've been really lucky. And you got to go way back when. I got a series of insane jobs that actually used to exist. I mean, so, we served a few drinks, we made some burgers, we had to entertain drooling 5-year-olds at Camp Snoopy. Josh had to make some sandwiches. I had to, spin around on the Zamboni. These were some jobs from way back when that actually used to exist. There used to be jobs for every little damn thing, and a lot of it very disgusting and disturbing. So we're going way, way back here. Tell me how you deal with some of these gigs, if this is what your day-to-day activities involved. Well, and speaking of bars, lamplighter. Is the lamplighter still a...
the lamplighter.
Didn't we used to call it the limp lifter?
Yep.
I got my dad's softball jersey from the 70s with a lamplighter on the front of it.
He used to play ball, and that was one of the sponsors?
Yep, that was their sponsor. It's embroidered. It's probably my most cherished item of clothing.
Isn't that a topless joint?
It is, yes.
All right.
Good for your
It's
dad.
ironic.
So, forget about with all due respect to the bar, we're not talking about the bar, but the actual occupation of being a lamplighter. Had to light, obviously, the lamps and also extinguish them in the morning. This job was considered to be prestigious and was, this is nice, and often passed down from father to son. Back in the day, before electricity, you could just sign up for that gig. Knocker-uppers.
Hello.
Does that mean what I think it means?
It's not what you think.
Joke.
Cool job.
Antonio Cromartie. There are others who are... no, not what you think.
Nick Cannon.
Right. Before alarm clocks, there were knocker-uppers. They carried a big, long stick and would wake... we're talking way back when, like I said. And they would wake up their client by knocking on their bedroom window with the big, long stick.
All right, that'd be a pretty cool job, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, aside from having to get up early, but you're right.
You got to be the first person up.
Just get this huge stick. Oh, gosh.
I wonder how many windows they broke.
Oh, good point, Wapo.
See, Willie was just talking about dealing with the household farts.
Right.
It can be a problem. There used to be a gig, hundreds of years ago, whatever the hell, where you could say, I am a flatulist, a professional farter.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. A famous example, according to the story, is Roland the Farter. Roland the Farter, he would often perform for royal families and was paid handsomely in cash or even property.
Oh, you can get a house for farting?
I've got an uncle who could live on Lake Minnetonka. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. You could. It probably wasn't the nicest house back in 1652, whenever the hell this comes from, but you could be paid in... People are texting in here to the program saying the lamplighter is gone.
Yeah, it looks like it's permanently closed.
That's too bad.
All right.
Yesterday was National Fart Day, by the way. It's not a federal holiday. Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I don't know why
I
they
don't
haven't
think you
made
get a day off of that.
Oh, can't we claim that that's why we took yesterday off?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, here's the deal. It's the Half-Assed Morning Show with C. Willie Miles, and we're getting ready to roll. But we've been talking back and forth about insane jobs that used to exist from many, many years ago. Strange that you could make a living like this, but it sure makes us feel lucky, at least it makes me feel lucky, to be living in a more sophisticated time. Some of these go way back to C. Willie Miles. I guess this might have been the like the groundwork for morning radio, maybe, or maybe that kind of similar to stand-up comedy back in the day. Maybe we would have made good lectors. You could have been a lector, or lector, I guess. You would stand on a platform on the workhouse floor and loudly read news or literature to keep the workers entertained. I bet that individual might need a Sucrets now and again or something. You know what I mean? Might.
I'm imagining, there's not a microphone available.
No, you're just hollering your over loud machinery. Right. You would need some Robitussin or something along those lines. The workers did enjoy the lector's work, so much so that if the bosses ever fired the lector, the group of workers would band together to pool some cash to hire a new one. So I guess that, might be the beginning days of morning radio or stand-up comedy. C. Willie Miles, how do you think you do as a gong farmer? I'll tell you what it is before you answer. I think it's only fair if I tell you what that means.
I need more context.
This is not good. It's not good. I would not have want to have signed up to be the neighborhood gong farmer. Now, before modern plumbing, they say people would just cut a deuce into a cesspit.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do good at
And
that.
after a time, see Willie Miles, that cesspit would need emptying. Gong came from a word that means going. And a gong farmer had to collect the people's goings and then take it to the farmers in a cart so it could be used as fertilizer.
No, that is...
First of all, that's labor, and I couldn't do it. That was physical labor.
Wapple, if it was 1701, you would have been in big trouble.
Oh, boy.
Because they say small boys were often given... Small boys were often given this job at a young age. Oh, they spent their whole lives as gong farmer. They had to jump down into the pit.
Whoa!
Ooh.
And collect the turds, dude.
Oh, my God.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't be so bad in, like, the winter. Everything's frozen, but
it'd be
middle
harder.
of summer,
It'd be harder to get the turds out of the cesspit.
You got a damn ice pick. You're stabbing at it.
Don't be lazy.
Yeah, and then you got frozen turds going at your face.
There's some shards.
Yeah.
Chopping at it.
Yeah,
Yes.
some shrapnel.
Oh, my God.
Well, there was the ice cutter. Before ice was easily accessible just to pick up at your corner store, an ice cutter would go, oh my God, would go out onto frozen bodies of water and collect ice. Oh, a lot of them never made it back off the
Of course they didn't.
A lot of them never made it back.
You cut it all the way around you.
And then,
Imagine being the first guy that made that mistake. Whoops.
Ruh-roh.
we're going way back, like Little House on the Prairie type days. You know, that you'd bring your horse and a cart out onto the ice. You'd cut a big flipping chunk of ice, put it on the cart is the word, put it on the cart, haul it into town. And they say a lot of ice cutters and their horses did not make it back off the...
Not the horse.
Of course
They're
not.
right there. Of course, can't we feel bad for a human being just once?
No, man. No. That horse didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
That horse probably welcomed that death. after all.
Probably.
True. I used to get really worked.
If I got to go back into town one more time, that horse was thinking.
What are we doing, John? All the nice.
Again with the turds. I mean, a lot of this is turd related, and it's just terrible. Josh, you could have landed the job. Like I'm picturing, what's that program you like so much with the swords and the kings and the queens?
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Josh, you could have been the groom of the stool, they called it.
With the stool.
It's just awful.
Catchy title, though.
It is.
I agree.
It's a prominent sounding. You would assist the king with his royal bowel movements.
Oh.
You would help the king undress before he had to unleash a coiler. You would help him undress, and you'd have to wipe him.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Royal wiper.
To wipeth thine hiney.
Yes. Sometimes you would monitor the king's diet and report it is how you say it, to the royal doctors. Okay.
He had corn.
And this was sought after. It was a sought after gig because you're side by side with the king. There were vomit collectors. All right, listen to this. Back in Roman times, wealthy people bragged. See if I have this right. Wealthy people would eat to excess. That was part of showing how wealthy they were. They would just eat. And that's where the vomit collectors come in. They had to hold receptacles, buckets, under the rich folks for when they had to splash.
That sounds awful. I've never ate enough to ever vomit from overeating. That sounds horrific.
I've come close.
Really?
Yeah.
We knew a guy once, didn't he eat cheesecake until he puked? Who was that, Josh?
Yeah, that was the Columbine kid. Yeah, he ate an entire cheesecake.
So the rich folks would eat themselves sideways, and surely they were going to vomit at one point or another. There needed to be someone there to catch it so it wouldn't dirty up the floors and whatnot.
Just shows how lazy we are today, man. Those are good jobs. Now you just get on Delta, they give you a bag.
Everybody complains nowadays. Yeah. That was the gist back then, right? If you were overweight, that meant you had some money.
Mm-hmm. Now it's the other way around.
What do you think about this? To be a leech collector.
Oh.
Nope.
Leeches, as you know, were used to suck blood from sick people. So the leech collectors were often poor people, and commonly it says here women's, who waded into ponds and bogs and marshes to attract the leeches. So you come up out of the pond, you're covered in the pond. I'm having a real tough time here at the end of the day. You'd come up out of the pond, covered in leeches, and then you sell them to the doctors who would use them for sick people.
That's a huge no for me. I absolutely hate leeches. I don't use them to go fishing. I don't care how many times people tell me they're so good for fishing. I'm not touching one.
You don't like the part where they kind of suck on your thumbnail before you...
I had a buddy that liked messing with him too and trying to get him to attach to his hand before he put him on the well,
that's what you do on the hook.
Hook there, yeah. No.
They get them to get. They sit still when they start to suck on your thumbnail there, and then you.
No.
I always thought that was kind of a way that he and I bond a little bit before he
put that hook in his back and threw him in the water for bait.
Catches me a walleye.
He's a part of you now.
We're pretty lucky. Were friends.
Yeah, that's what he's. We're pretty lucky when you read about some of that stuff. Right. And C. Willie Miles, again, tell folks about your upcoming gigs.
Thursday night, I'm up at Spring Lake Park at the theater. What's it called? Live on 65.
Ooh.
That's where I'm at.
Sure.
And then Friday, I'm down at the Paradise Center for the Arts in Faribault, one of my favorite theaters to perform. Mm-hmm. And then down at the Opera House in Fairmont, Minnesota. So if you know people, tell them C. Willie's coming in.
Right on.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure to be here with you guys, man. Love it. You guys are hilarious.
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show.
Tucker Carlson, what is it that you think that people gravitate
I'm not
towards?
Self-aware. I refuse to be self-aware. I don't even look in mirrors at all, which you can probably tell from my appearance. I don't have a crazy high IQ, or I really don't have that many skills. I would say my main skill is I believe my instincts. I don't hesitate to follow my instincts, ever. To the extent that I have, I've gotten in trouble.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
Here's the deal. It's Monday morning. It's President's Day, which is always a riot. I've had more fun on President's Day. Don't even get me started on all that. But I'm going to try to keep it going. Something Josh and I were taught years ago in the business. You got to try to keep it going. I'm going to try to keep it going with an interesting question for everybody. And all of y'all. When your parents were young, were they hot?
I'll let someone else go first.
I haven't seen any pictures of either of my parents when they were young.
All right, let's take a time out.
Just not, why?
You haven't seen any pictures of your parents when they were young?
No. Well, my dad's in his 70s, so there wasn't really many up. I don't know. They weren't really a camera family.
Yeah, we weren't either. I know
and
what
then
you're saying.
Sure, I'm in the same boat, but you've never seen a picture of your parents when they were young, like their wedding photos or anything.
Yeah, so I meant like young. I've seen like maybe when they were in their 30s, and they're
that
very
counts.
good looking.
Yeah, let's go with that.
They're very good looking.
Close enough. They were very good looking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got pics.
My dad he had the whole tall, dark, and handsome kind of thing going on. My mom, I know you guys seen my mom's hair. She's kind of got like that.
Bob.
It's like an afro situation.
What's going on with your mother's hair?
I love it. She's always done it like that, and it looked even better when she was younger.
All right. Hot parents. I recently went through a lot of old photos of my folks. Again, not as many as a lot of other families might have because, like Josh's and Ashley's, we were not a camera-carrying family. But with my dad passing away recently, you got to go through the photos and go make up the photo board. And my folks were quite attractive people when they were young.
Your dad was a looker.
Hard to believe. But they were quite an attractive couple when they were young. Anyone else want to comment, or are you afraid to offend your folks?
No, I'd say my parents were very good looking.
Yeah, my parents were really good looking. My dad had a sweet mustache.
Oh, so did my dad.
Yeah. And then now that we're just on the subject, I just want to say happy birthday to my 97-year-old grandma.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Here's the deal. The reason I asked such an odd question is a new study says if your parents were slinging heat back in the day, you could stand to make a few more bucks. A few more dollars in your pocket. If your parents were conventionally good looking, is how they put it here, there's a decent chance you'll make more money during your career.
Well, if that's the case, then maybe my parents weren't as good looking as I thought.
Be kind of fun if we all could bring in a picture. Now I'm curious. And I'll tell you the straight up truth if your folks were dogs. I will.
Nick's rating your parents' service. You know?
Yes.
I'd like to be that guy.
Yeah. You do like to be that guy.
I'd like to be that. Everyone tomorrow bring in a picture of your folks.
I might be able to find one now. Hold on.
Pardon me?
I might be able to pull one up on my phone.
Oh, I forgot about that technology. National, yes, Josh?
Big bearded Jared said that his friends wanted to bang his mom.
Oh, my God.
Jared's a good-looking guy. I bet he's got good-looking parents.
Oh, yeah.
This research was done by the folks at the National Bureau of Economic Research. So don't try to play games with these people. They sound pretty important. You've heard, I'm sure, by now, that good-looking folks earn more money than the rest of us.
Nothing new there.
Good-looking people, they get their way. But this National Bureau of Economic Research, they took it to a higher level to see what it meant for your career earnings if you come from hot parents. Now, the methods are very confusing, but the gist is someone who is the child of a couple of good-looking people can expect to make an extra $2,300 per year over a working life. That could mean over $100,000 in additional earnings. $100,000!
I've seen weird combos where you have, like the best-looking girl in our school. Her parents were, let's say, They were not conventionally attractive.
2 negatives make a positive, right?
Yeah, I mean, quite to the point where, I mean, if you walked by, you'd do a double take at these people, kind of their appearance. And she was, I mean, insane hot. Insane. Where people thought, oh, she must be adopted. There's no way that she's the product of those two. But you're right, Ashley, maybe they canceled each other out. And I've seen vice versa, where I had a buddy who was just foul looking and his parents looked like supermodels.
Oh, that would suck. I'd be so mad.
That's tough to figure. Now I'm sitting here I can easily picture the hottest gals from my high school, but I'm sitting here trying to picture if I ever met any of their folks and if, they were also attractive. I can't say that I remember what their folks look like. So, it goes on and on. It says here, Josh, the genes of good-looking people often result in good-looking kids.
Yeah, it's true. They did say that.
And, maybe it carries on and all of yous make more money. Your folks, they're hot. They made more money than they should have. You're hot because your folks were hot. You're making more money than you should have.
Delivery driver, she's just texted in a photo of her parents when they were young. I'm switching it to Nick.
Delivery driver, she's?
Correct.
It's a picture of her folks. Okay, that's a picture, all right. Oh. Let's keep this coming. This is fun. This is fun. I can't believe she did that.
Sending a picture?
And I can't believe you said that about them, Josh.
I did not. I would not.
That's very nice.
I was even careful when I talked about the parents of a girl I went to school with.
Did you find that picture of your folks, Wapple?
No, I can't, but I found a really good one of my grandparents.
Yeah,
right. I can't find it of my parents.
Fair enough. Okay, so
check out OnlyFans. I found a few there. I'm sorry. I know you don't like that, Wapple.
So what if your folks are a couple of gargoyles? They say, you might stand to earn less.
All right, delivery driver Jesus has checked back in. The comment Wapple made on her parents. And simply wrote, rude, LOL.
Well, I mean, come on.
Come on.
Rude, LOL.
Look at your dad, for Christ's sake.
This person says, if I was adopted by a hot couple, do I get half the annual salary of a biological kid?
Adopted by a hot couple.
I wonder if there's something there.
I don't know. Delivery driver Jesus. Look at your dad. When I look at the picture, this is the sound he's making. Sorry. Here's the deal. What should you do, they say, if you don't have attractive parents and you aren't attractive either? This is cold-blooded. Stay in school. That's it.
That's the only choice.
Sucks. That's not what you wanted to hear. If you're ugly and your folks are ugly, stay in school. Because the better educated you become, the better chance you have at grabbing some of that hot person money.
Go for the master's degree.
All right, Wapple, you just sent me a photo. Who is this now?
So that's my grandparents.
Grandparents.
Your grandpa's got a candid half-naked body shot.
Yeah,
hell yes.
And your grandmother's attractive, definitely.
Yeah,
come on.
They have
Let me see that.
They have like the old school photo type look too, the black and white, and he's in his Navy outfit and everything.
What, Navy? He looks like he's got his shirt off.
No,
did you send us the wrong picture?
No, the second one underneath.
I only got the one. Oh, you sent it two? Oh, yeah. I see. Here's your second. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. He looks like a movie star.
Yeah, he looks badass.
Yeah, he does.
What went wrong with you?
Everything
went
wrong with me.
He's once removed.
Yeah, I suppose.
Your grandpa looks like he could be an action star.
Yeah, and there's another photo.
But he looks like he needs to sit on a phone book to drive that car. Was he not a tall guy?
No, not really.
Yeah, he looks like he's sitting on a phone book.
Yeah, but there's another really good photo of him and my grandma, and he has like I don't know what it was because he never smoked, but it looked like he had a cigarette, and it was just a cool look.
Oh, wow. People are sending in pictures of their folks.
Yeah, they are.
Here's one for you. I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic Jesus.
Yeah, that's his mother?
I'm assuming.
Well, she looks like a nice lady.
She looks like she has beautiful skin.
Holy
Yes, she does. She figured that out.
This is so ridiculous that people are sending in pictures of their folks.
This is fun.
Who the hell is that from, Josh?
This is from Blacktop Mojo Mofo Jesus.
Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yuck.
You don't like that one, huh?
No. 2 pumps and a squeeze. Jesus sent in a picture of his folks. Your dad. He aimed low. He did. Your dad.
My God.
What? This is my new gimmick now. Delivery driver Jesus, who sent in the photos of her parents with the dad going, she said that she's all right with all this because they don't listen to this show. You're a good sport. I love you guys. Everyone's parents are gorgeous. I'm gonna back off.
Aimed low.
He did. He had a few beers. What are you gonna do? Can everyone bring in a picture of their parents tomorrow? God, I wonder if I could.
try.
Yeah, I think I got to make a few phone calls on this, but I think I should be able to wrangle one. What else is going on around here, Josh?
Gosh, what? Oh, you know what? We never gave our tickets away.
That's just what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, we should do that. Text the word Prowl, 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 to the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, which is 651-989-9393. Get a shot to win tickets to see Steel Panther, who are amazing in concert. This will be Thursday, May 2nd at the Mayo Event Center in Mankato, furnished by Pepper Entertainment.
That's very cool. Photos keep coming in here. I can't lay off, can I?
Yeah, I just got one of my parents now, too.
Well, this is cool. This is Security Jesus sent in a photo of his folks, and I'm guessing himself when he was a tiny baby. And his folks are decent-looking people, but he, as a baby, is kind of making a face as if he's saying, these are the two I got to live with? He's kind of...
He does kind of have a scared look on his face.
Like he just soiled himself.
Oh, man. I love this, though. We're going to have to keep going. Give me...
this is a good one.
Take a break. What do you got?
Look at Crazy Fish Guy Jesus. His mom's on the right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Now, now we're talking.
That's not fair.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
I'm sorry that happened to you. I bet your friends were
I bet
all
that was
over
tough.
you. That's got to be tough growing up with a mom that looks like that.
I bet that was friggin' tough. I mean, okay, we got a little time here. A lot of our listeners are sending in pictures of their folks so I can rate them. How about we swing by dictionary.com? I'm going to go contact them later today, Josh, and see if they'll kill somebody for me.
I think you got the wrong side.
Let's swing by dictionary.com. Here's the deal. They added 327 new words and terms to dictionary.com. That's what they do this time of year. So I got 10 of them. 10 new words added to dictionary.com. I'm going to say them out loud. We're going to turn this into a contest. If you know the definitions of these terms, you say your name first, and then you give us the definition. We're turning it into a contest.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. These are the new terms that went in. If you know them, you say your name, and you give us the damn definition. Bed rotting.
Dana,
go ahead.
that's where you just spend the whole day in bed and don't do anything.
He's correct. The practice of spending many hours in bed during the day, often with snacks or an electronic device or both, as a voluntary retreat from activity or stress.
The best.
Josh has a problem with that stress. Oh, he gets tight.
It'll get me.
He gets tight.
Is bed rotting just a synonym? Oh, God.
Go ahead. No, I'd like you to keep going.
Synonym for being hungover?
Well, it wouldn't be a synonym for it. So to answer your question, no.
I'm glad Josh got in there because I don't know the definition of synonym.
Same. Anybody? All right, never mind.
That's one for Dana. Bed rotting. Okay. The ick.
Ashley.
Josh.
That sounded like
Ashley
Smashly
got
jumped
in
in there. Go ahead, young lady.
When somebody, like when you're attracted to somebody and then they do something and then that makes them no longer attractive.
I'm going to give her credit for that one. The definition I have in front of me from dictionary.com, the sudden a sudden feeling of disgust or dislike, often in response to the actions of another person. He or she gave me the ick.
Yep, people were saying that when Travis Kelce was like singing that Viva
Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas, they like panned to Taylor Swift and they were like, yeah, she just got the ick.
I hear you. He gave a lot of us the ick when that happened.
Yeah.
Our
Dana's weird beat-off browser history is what I thought the answer was for the ick.
All right, we got ways to go here yet. Our next new word in dictionary on dictionary.com is, I'm counting on you here, Wapple, mid.
Josh.
Josh has it.
Yep. The section of my body I feel the most shame over. My midsection.
That is incorrect. Wapple, I think you were going to get in there and define mid for us.
Yeah, like average.
Yeah, my mediocre. My youngest says that all the time.
I'm going to give Wapple a point on that one.
Or it's really bad weed.
Yeah, mids.
The first person I ever heard call somebody or refer to anything as mid was who, Wapple? Because I'm guessing he was the first for you as well. Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh, no.
On AEW Wrestling, I'm watching Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and he's referring to other wrestlers as mid, and I had to keep rewinding. What did he say? I couldn't. It took maybe a dozen times to where I could finally understand what he was saying and understand what he meant with the term.
And it works perfectly in wrestling because mid could also be your mid-card.
Mid-card. Mm-hmm. The definition here for mid, mediocre, unimpressive, disappointing. If you're any of those things, you are mid. But things like movies and shows can also be mid. All right, get ready.
Yep.
I'm saying these terms. My cohorts are going to try to define them. They need to say their name out loud before they can answer. Because you guys know all the fresh things that come around the bend. Bussin'.
Ashley.
Ashley, define bussin'.
It's when something's like really great.
She's right.
Oh, that's bussin'. People say that.
Okay, that's stupid.
Yeah,
I don't get that one.
That was bad.
That one's dumb. But you're right. Bussin', great, wonderful, or amazing, like the opposite of med.
I thought it was going to be like I work at a restaurant and bussing them tables.
No,
Yeah.
I've only ever used that when I'm like trying to like use it in an ironic way.
Yeah.
Oh, even I knew what bussin' was.
My ass is so big, I'm busting out of these jeans.
You knew what Josh, you knew what bussin' meant?
Oh, yeah, I know all these.
What? Because of the young person?
I've got middle schoolers at home.
The young people that live in your...
one, but he's got a lot of friends over.
So then I should expect you to be the first to answer this next one. Boob knee.
Josh,
what is boob knee?
over time where gravity positions your grandmother's hooters. The boob goes to the knee.
No.
Makes sense. Yeah.
No.
Correct.
I don't even know. I've never even heard that.
Does anyone know boob knee?
I know the legitimate answer. It's
go ahead.
acne caused by a bra.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, that would suck. Another reason not to wear them, ladies.
And gentlemen.
You're right, Josh. I'd never heard, well, I haven't heard of any of these, well, I guess with the exception of mid. Boob knee, pimples or a rash caused by your bra.
Oh, that would suck.
Next up, Barbie core.
Josh, an Australian barbecue metalcore band.
Oh, no.
Nice.
He's
dude.
wrong. What is Barbie core?
I would think like a heavy metal act that dresses like Poppy.
No.
I think I got it. It's centered around Barbie, obviously, and it's like when you're like super girly and pink and all that.
I'm going to give her another point on that one. Yes. Barbie core, pink outfits and accessories and decor that celebrates Barbie. Girl dinner.
Ashley.
I
kind of hate this word. It's, I guess, when women just like put random things together on a plate, like for dinner, like 3 Triscuits, couple grapes, some broccoli, maybe.
Right. An often attractively presented collection of snacks that involve little preparation. That's a girl dinner.
When this started trending, I was like, oh, what the heck is this? Let's see. And I was like, oh, yeah, actually, I do that quite a bit.
You're guilty of it.
Uh-huh.
Girl Money. What band? Kicks. What year? I think it was 92. What record? Hotwire. Okay, the next word from dictionary.com that you folks are trying to define. This one sounds old to me. I've heard this for years. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be a new word to be new to dictionary.com. Cheat code. Josh, cheat code.
The secret word Nick gives me when his wife's in the room, but he wants to cheat on her.
He's right. Well, what they say here for chief... Oh, I hate this. Cheat code, the definition. It's like a hack. I'm so burned out.
Hack.
I'm so burned out on reading about a life hack. Oh, blow that out of your ass. Like a hack, a ploy or technique that bypasses traditional methods or rules. Okay, I thought it directly was connected to video games, but it's not.
I've heard in sports, too, recently as well. If a player's so good, they're like, he is so good, he's a cheat code. He's a human cheat code.
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay, that's probably why, they decided to put it in now.
2 more. Range anxiety.
Josh, I actually know this one.
Go ahead.
A buddy of mine has what I like to call an EV. You heard this before? You guys hear this one?
Did you hear about this one? See this one?
Yeah, it's an electric vehicle, and he gets range anxiety like he's not, especially in the winter. He's not going to have enough juice to make it to his destination or get everywhere he needs to go.
The fear that an electric vehicle's battery will run out of power before you get to where you're going again. 1 more. Ashley's been strong.
Thank you.
Dana's been. Josh has been.
I've been wrong a lot.
Good guesses, though. Yeah. We like the effort.
Yep.
Shacket.
Josh.
Go ahead.
What Shaquille O'Neal calls it when he masturbates.
No. I am a shacket wearer. Didn't know it until I just read the new term on dictionary.com.
Oh, I am too. Yeah.
That's where when you mash up a shirt and a jacket. It's a, quote, garment in the style of a button-down shirt made of a thicker fabric, usually worn over other shirts. Well, I wear a shacket every flippin' day.
Yeah, that's the trend, right? I mean, I see a lot of folks wearing jackets.
Is that a trend?
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I like when
the
it's
young
got the
people
hoodie.
wear them. Yep, and then they're usually plaid of some sort.
I have one right outside the studio right now.
So if you wear that look long enough, it'll become trendy with the young people.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
Because I've been doing that gimmick since I was a kid. Would you say that when it comes to wearing shackets, I am a cheat code?
I'd go with more a trend setter.
I'm certainly not mid when it comes to wearing a
I'd
shacket.
say you're OG on that.
OG.
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
We see money inefficiency, OG, around us all the time. We've got a few skeletons sitting out in the open, and maybe we need to broom them into the closet, if you know what I mean.
Nope, take that out.
What is...
Whatever you were going for didn't land right. Who's got a shovel and some lime?
Maybe you need to do that with your financial picture. I don't know.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
Scientists now say that the largest ever primate died out due to a diet change. Here's what happened. He switched to keto and wouldn't shut up about it, and everybody killed him.
The world's biggest cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas, is set to begin its maiden voyage later this month. This thing is massive. It's like the Mall of America in that it's full of people from Minneapolis.
Care for some chili?
Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog.
Want an atomic pepper? It's not so bad. It's more tingly than hot.
Are you okay? Because you're sweating pretty profusely.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I always react this way to spicy food.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love it.
5-alarm chili, eh? 1, 2. Hey, what the big idea?
Oh, I admit it. It's only 2 alarm.
2.5 tops. I just wanted to be a big man in front of the kids.
Daddy, are you going to jail?
Happy National Hotheads Chili Day.
Oh, hot.
You're risking a sprained tongue.
Fired up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to start the show.
Start the show.
Yeah, I suppose. Thank you very much for dialing us up this morning, and welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Did I hear National Hot Ass Chili Day?
Maybe that's what you heard, but what she said was National Hot Heads Chili Day for folks that like it extra hot.
Oh, hot heads. I've never heard that term referred to people who like hot food, spicy
food. I hadn't
food.
either. I had to look it up to see if it was a brand, and I couldn't see that it was a brand, so just folks that like it extra hot.
All right.
I have an embarrassing thing happens to me if I eat stuff too hot. I get hiccups. It's the only time I really get hiccups.
Oh, wow. Is that right?
Yeah, I fight it as much as I can, but yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, and sometimes it'll be something a lot more mild than it should be.
Mm-hmm. When you eat spicy food, you get hiccups.
Sometimes.
I get gas.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I don't get that, luckily.
How weird is that?
Oh, I sweat my balls off.
Yeah, same here.
And just like Josh, it could be the mildest food of all.
If it like wasabi or horseradish,
Wait a minute. You sweat your ass off when you eat the mildest of foods?
Like mild hot foods.
Oh.
You know.
He just sweats when he eats mashed potatoes.
Just a mild hot
you're not
sauce.
drinking water and sweating your nuts off.
When you eat mild hot foods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't give a rat's ass what everyone says about you in the building, Wapple. I like your style. I do.
Wait, people don't like my style? What the hell?
Dude, be like me and don't listen to what everyone else in the building is saying. All right, I hear what you said.
It's going to be tough not to because literally everyone says it. No shame. They bring it up all the time. But Nick's right. You should ignore that kind of stuff.
The spicy stuff makes Cubby hiccup. Maybe it'd be a fun idea to bring you in I don't know. I know nothing about food. Someone tell me a spicy food.
Hot Cheetos?
Okay,
That's easy.
See, I think that would give me diarrhea.
Especially this early in the morning.
I'd like some something hot, but just like more real food than that.
Okay.
That would mess me up.
I'd like to smoke a bunch of grass and then listen to you try to read your news report with a case of the hiccups.
I think people would despise it more than usual.
Oh, I think it'd be a riot.
Hey, there's a lot of hiccupers out there who, once they eat something kind of spicy.
I never knew that was a thing.
No, I don't know if I know anyone other than you. I've heard you mention that before, Josh. I don't think I've met anyone else who said something like that. So there you go. For the folks who like hot, spicy food, today's your day.
One good eye Jesus said ketchup is about as spicy as he goes when he's feeling dangerous.
I hear you.
Have you guys ever seen that fiery ketchup stuff?
No.
I tried that once. It's a little spicy.
Oh, I bet that'd be good. I usually put Tabasco sauce in my ketchup, so.
Oh, really?
I imagine I'd like that then.
We get the jalapeno ketchup. That's pretty good.
That sounds like diarrhea written all over it.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
or
really
maybe
good.
that's exactly what I was talking about. I don't know. I don't remember it called jalapeno ketchup.
Oh, yeah, we get the stuff, and it's a little bit spicier.
Well, Josh, you're a Chipotle connoisseur. What kind of sauce do you get there? Do you get the hottest sauce at Chipotle?
No, I don't like that.
The red sauce?
No, I go mild and corn, baby.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want hiccups while you're trying to enjoy your burrito.
Well, there you go. When I was a young man, sure, I'd go down that route once in a while. Not very often anymore.
My wife, basically, the kitchen staff will come out just to meet her with how spicy she likes her stuff.
Just to double check. Like, you sure, right?
As a matter of fact, so there is a friend of hers owns a restaurant, and it's a Thai restaurant. So you can order the level of heat. And I think their one is too hot.
Yeah.
And I like spicy food, but for me, the one, it's too much. But she gets the 5 or a 5+, and so the staff knows exactly who it is when she orders.
Wow. I was at a Thai restaurant once on a date, and they asked you a level of spice 1 through 5, and I go, I can handle like a 4. And the waitress just kind of looks at me, and she goes, no, I don't think you can. She goes, I think you'd be better off at a 2. I got the 2, and the 2 was still too spicy.
Crazy Fish Guy Jesus puts hot sauce on hot Cheetos and Takis. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I've messed up a few times at Khan's Mongolian barbecue, how
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do your different sauces. And a couple of those, if you just put a little bit of whatever it is in there, boy, will that get your butt hurting.
It'll get your butt hurting.
Yeah.
Bass Slayer Jesus used to have a great tolerance for hot sauce, got his gallbladder removed, and that tolerance disappeared with it.
Interesting.
When we were young guys, every Saturday morning we'd go to this cafe in my hometown and have breakfast and then stay there for the majority of the rest of the day and get annihilated watching college basketball and things like that on Saturday afternoons. And there was this one fat-headed dude who would big giant noggin on this guy. That's all I really remember about him is he had this big fat noggin, and he would sit in the cafe with us. And he was always there every Saturday morning having breakfast by himself. And he was one of these guys that would just pour Tabasco all over his scrambled eggs or whatever the hell he was having for breakfast. And then he would just turn beet red and sweat onto his plate.
Oh, gross.
Okay? And I didn't care at first, but after a while, we all kind of figured he's doing this to try and get a reaction. All right?
Yeah.
There's people out there like that.
Yep.
I mean, there might have been a little bit of a hint that the guy had breakfast every Saturday morning all by himself, but, you know.
Oh, he wasn't in your group.
No.
I thought he was like part of the table, part of the crew.
I don't know how I made it sound that way. No. My buddies and I would sit there, and then there was the fat-headed guy. You know, he was not. No, so anyway, I don't know. I kind of felt bad for the guy. And one morning, months have gone by, and there he is, just windmilling his Tabasco breakfast into his yap and pouring sweat and turning red. And again, I thought, okay, obviously this guy is trying to get some attention by doing this because he's obviously not comfortable. I mean, look at the guy. You shouldn't be sweating. Sweat should not be pouring down onto the plate that you're eating off of.
Right.
So I decided in my head, I'm going to finally acknowledge this guy. I'm going to give him what he wants, and we can have a all this time, he never said a word. He just eat his breakfast. Right as I'm taking a breath to say, hey, man, when did you start enjoying Tabasco with your whatever I was going to say to try and, finally acknowledge this guy? One of my friends jumps in front of me and goes, okay, enough with the Tabasco. We get it. You like hot food. What's the matter with you?
Oh, no.
Jeez.
What'd he say? Did he ever reply?
Oh, he made it seem like, oh, I like it. And my buddy's like, obviously you don't. Look at you. You look terrible. You obviously don't like it. Okay, but we get it. Congratulations. You like hot food. You're the best.
My youngest son has a buddy who's very crafty. And his parents are as well. He grows his own vegetables.
Wow.
And he makes his own hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah, and he brought some over and he sells it. Right?
Oh, cool.
And so he brought over these little, airplane booze-sized bottles, right? Or something you get in a mini fridge in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, check these out. We're like, to support the kid, we'll take one of each. One of each one. We'd love it. And he went on to describe the process and, how he grew this stuff and what these taste like and the level of spiciness. And then he gave me the bill. It was $20 a bottle.
Wow!
Whoa.
I got to learn how to ask questions.
Yeah.
Whoa, kid.
That is some hot sauce.
$20.
It took him time, all right.
A kid tried to sell you this for $20 a bottle.
Yeah, my son's best friend.
I'll give you $1.
$20 a bottle.
That is so cool
I
that he
called
does
the
that.
cops.
Yeah.
I was being swindled.
Like a little 5-ounce bottle of hot sauce.
Maybe he knew you were such a nice guy, he could name any price he wanted and you'd still buy it.
Nice guy / sucker, one of the two.
Yeah, he originally sells them for about $5 a pop, but he saw Josh and was like, let's go with 20.
You're no sucker, Cubby.
Now, anytime he comes over, I have to ask, well, what's this going to cost me? I need to know first and foremost.
Anyway, fat-headed dude stopped showing up for breakfast.
I don't blame him.
Frosted Flake Jesus likes to spice things up in the bedroom with a little bit of hot sauce.
Oh, wow.
Where the hell are you putting that?
No.
Dangerous.
You're not really putting that on anybody's gear, are you? Get back to us on that.
Yeah, anyone who's ever chopped a jalapeno and then gone to the bathroom, they know how that feeling is like. And it's not good.
Bad.
Explain yourself, Frosted Flake Jesus.
I do love spicy stuff, but I don't like the stuff that's just hot for the pain and doesn't taste like anything. And I know there's some people that they want to punish themselves with that.
There's some hot sauces that are like metallic tasting. And it's like, you like that? How?
I had a friend who worked at Buffalo Wild Wings in college, and she would talk about how awful it would be when guys would do the Blazing Challenge. That's the hottest wings they have. And they said the table would be a mess. There'd be snotty napkins everywhere.
That's disgusting.
Because guys' nose are running, and they just leave it on the table. They'd have to go and clean that up afterwards.
That's so dramatic. Those wings aren't even like that hot, really, compared to other places that like really make spicy hot wings.
I don't know. I watched somebody do it. I don't know, Ashley. It looked pretty hot to me. I watched somebody go through it at Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was miserable.
I used to eat those like as a regular thing.
Oh, that was just your go-to wing flavor? Was Blazing?
Yeah, I really liked spicy food for a while there, but I had to tone it down because I was getting like ulcers. So
I think their Asian zing could be a little less zingy. I can't imagine going all that way up. Dry-aged ribeye Jesus said he used to make his wings with habanero and ghost peppers. Sometimes he'd tell his guests, and then other times he'd sit back and wait for the show.
Oh, no.
Now we got... all right, nothing has been texted back from Frosted Flake Jesus about bringing Tabasco.
I'd imagine he was kidding, but
I hope so.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you never know. We'll wait for a reply here on the text machine. Frosted Flake Jesus says he likes to bring, Tabasco sauce into the bedroom. Ass-skinning, chainsaw packing Jesus. I think this is the first message I've ever read from this individual. He says he's icy-hotted his gear for sexual purposes before. Honestly, it's totally worth it.
What? I did that by accident, and it was miserable.
I guess they make condoms that are like that, right? Like hot and then cold?
They do?
Yeah, they do.
You're talking to the wrong group of guys. Well, at least Josh and I. Josh and I wouldn't know the first thing about condoms. Okay, well, first off, before we get to the condoms thing, I also hope that ass-skinning, chainsaw packing Jesus is joking, because I have heard stories about icy hot on the gear, and they're all bad.
Oh, yeah, I had it happen. It was terrible.
Me too.
Absolutely terrible.
Now,
Frosted Flake Jesus has gotten back to us.
What'd he say?
He brings hot sauce into the bedroom for moral support, so at least there's one spicy thing in the room. Hey, honey, we had hot sauce in here.
Look at that hottie over there.
It was right there the whole time.
All right, now bring me round to this condom thing now. There are condoms that do what? They provide a hot feeling and a cold feeling?
Oh, I can't remember. I believe Trojan has them.
I know.
Yeah,
Dana,
let me look it up.
You said something like you knew what she was talking about.
There was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where this happened, Larry David, where it was supposed to be hot on the outside for the lady and cold on the inside for the guy to kind of help you last a little bit longer. But Larry put the condom on backwards, so the woman got a frozen vagina.
Yeah, they're called fire and ice condoms. So yeah, exactly what Dana was saying.
Curb comes back next month, by the way, on the 4th. Yeah,
no
me too.
Way.
Last season.
Right when you said fire and ice condoms, Ashley, I received a few texts from some listeners who knew exactly what you were talking about, and I'll just say that I'm not getting the greatest reviews so far from our listening audience on fire and ice condoms. Not the greatest review, specifically from cheek-spreading Jesus.
People are mentioning the lube you can buy that does the same thing. I've heard of that. But yeah, the condoms, that's new to me. Yeah. County Deputy Jesus says, welcome to pepper spray. No one enjoys it, and the aftermath when you take a shower reactivates everything.
Oh,
that
pepper spray.
I was pepper sprayed once, and it was horrible.
That sounds awful. Did you use milk? I heard that, like, pouring milk in your eyes.
I didn't have any milk with me. I was at the Mall of America, actually, and there was this huge, basically a riot. This was, I'm going to say, maybe 96 or 97. All these kids poured in the rotunda, and there's this big fight, and there's cops everywhere, and I'm walking out, and I walked through some sort of mist, and I thought, well, what could this be? And then all of a sudden, my face exploded with snot and tears. I couldn't breathe. It was absolutely awful.
Poor innocent Josh.
I get tased any day over that. Any day. Because at least when the taser's done, it's done. Wapple, you can attest to that.
Yeah,
it's miserable when you ride the lightning, like Wapple and I did for 5 seconds. We took the ride. But after that, it's all over.
Yeah, I was lucky I got the choice. And I was kind of leaning towards pepper spray, but then the cops I was with was like, don't do it. You'll ruin your whole day.
Yeah, that takes a while.
That stinks.
We started off talking about hot ass chili day. No, I got it wrong.
Heads chili day.
Hot heads chili day.
But it can end that way.
Yeah, it will end
It
that
can
way.
end that way.
Hot heads is a nickname for people. That's news to me, news to all of us, I think, that hot heads is a nickname for people who enjoy spicy food. Never heard that before. And the texts are still coming in on spicy food, Tabasco sauce, things like that, hot sauce. Here is a listener. I don't have any kind of a cute name connected to the text, but that's okay. They tried some hot sauce in college that was called Hemorrhoid Helper.
I could use some of that.
Hemorrhoid Helper.
Chugged Up Plumber Jesus said there was a redheaded kid that wore a blue hoodie to school one day, and they immediately started calling him Fire and Ice.
That's good.
Clever. Poor guy, though.
That's beautiful.
That would have been brutal.
Orton Lover Jesus said she got some flavored lube in a white elephant game around Christmas. Hasn't tried it yet, but she's excited to give it a shot.
All right. Flavored lube.
I've never experienced anything like that before. Anyone here?
No.
Yeah,
No.
just for fun. Because there was a while where we would get random stuff from some sex toy company. I can't remember what it was, and they'd have like flavored lube in it.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and so you gotta like try it.
I don't think I'd want to do that.
I never liked it that much.
well, it's no different for you, Cubby.
No, I know. I'm just saying if I was a girl, which I've dreamed of being, I don't think I'd be wanting to do something like that.
No, just nothing is better.
Same thing that Smashley just said for me. We've gotten these prize packs or whatever from sex toy companies in the building over the years, and a lot of times there's plenty left over for the staff, so I've brought these flavored lubes back to the house. For God's sake, I had every flavor you could imagine in a drawer for strange women to try on the weekends. I mean, blueberry, strawberry, peppermint, every damn thing. After a while, when you open up that sex toy drawer, it just you get hit in the face by 100 different scents. I just start throwing.
Yeah.
Smells like a candy store.
You don't close the bottle properly. Some of it drips into the. It just smelled like kind of like a candy store, or like a dirty old recently closed candy store.
Can I ask though, why would you need spicy lube?
Spicy lube? I don't know the answer.
I'm sorry, we're talking spicy. Why would you need flavored lube
For the BJ.
Yeah, but why do you need lube for a BJ? Like, is it you use it other places first, and then if it ends in a BJ?
I don't know.
That's what I imagined.
I guess I never really thought about it too much. I just thought it was for the BJ.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be weirded out if someone's like, I'm going to give you a BJ, and then they lubed me up or something. I'd wonder what's going on there.
Do you have dry mouth?
Would you like a glass of water? Or?
Do you have cotton mouth? I don't know. I didn't ask too many questions, Josh. I just slather it on and brace myself.
Well, you know me. I like to really dig in deep and investigate what's going on there.
I hear you.
Well, then before you do this to me, I would like to do some research on the internet.
What if it's that we found out vaginas have taste buds? Maybe that's why they moved that.
That would be sweet.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, Ashley. Well, oh my God, I just mansplained something to you.
Yeah,
you're the woman. You tell me if it'd be sweet or not.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be. There's a couple days a month. It wouldn't be great. Maybe giving birth wouldn't be great.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh. We're going to talk today we're going to chat with Minnesota Wild winger. Oh, I said winger. Josh is going to be out of commission here for a few minutes. Just as long as it takes to play Headed for a Heartbreak in his mind. And then he'll be back.
Actually, you know what I think now? I think she's only 35, which they sing in concert. I think it's 35 or something like that.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was just listening to Winger live a few days ago when they played the song 17. And now, at least in one part of the song, they changed the line to "She's only 35."
Kip Winger, I've been watching live Winger too lately, and he did an interview where he said the line, she's only 17. Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me. That wasn't his call. He didn't want it in the song, but the record company made him do it.
Fair enough.
I think I'd say the same thing. Yeah. Well, I believe whatever Kip Winger says. I don't want to suggest that he did it, but even if that wasn't true, I would have to say something like that.
The half-assed morning show backtracks.
Here we effing go. Cubby, how you doing over there?
Good. How about you?
I'm good.
Oh, no. Oh,
no, I'm good.
Good.
No, it's
good. It's good. Glad to hear it. Everybody good?
Doing good.
Did anyone have any trouble getting here this morning?
No. What would have been the issue?
You want to know why you had no trouble getting here, Josh?
Why?
Because we're excellent drivers. Well, Ashley, I think, just gets lucky.
That's true. You missed it, but I made a face when you said that we're all excellent drivers.
Have you dinged up your new car yet?
No.
That's good.
You know you're not a very skilled driver.
No. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
It's okay.
You've got other things to worry about, like your addiction to marijuana.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to sell anybody out necessarily, but there's a gentleman in my life who recently purchased a new vehicle, by recently about a week ago. And he texted me yesterday saying, hey, this was Saturday. What am I thinking? Saturday saying, do you know anybody that can get road rash out of a wheel? Apparently he already dinged up his rim.
Oh, that
just a few days into it.
That stinks.
What an idiot.
What the hell did he do?
I don't know. I didn't ask any questions because I know he was embarrassed by it.
Sucks.
All scuffed up.
I was in a parking ramp this weekend.
I don't buy it.
And going past all those pillars, and they got so much car scrapings on them. I'm like, oh, that would suck.
Oh, I bet that noise is awful too when you do something like that.
And then you try to reverse, and it just makes it worse. You know.
That's how my wife's grandma, may she rest in peace. Her grandma, not my wife.
Oh, that's how she died?
No, that's how they decided it's time to take her license away.
Oh.
Is when there was more yellow paint on her white car than there was white paint. But a lot of those yellow pillars had white paint from her car. Sure. They just decided maybe Grandma shouldn't be driving anymore. Didn't go over well, by the way, when they told her we're taking the keys.
Nah, there's never been one old timer who said, "Okay, fine, sure, take my car keys."
You know
what I
You're
mean?
Right.
So she kept dry humping pillars behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I guess it was pretty bad.
We're excellent drivers around here. Matter of fact, as a matter of scientific fact, I was reading this Summers yesterday. Minnesotans are the second best drivers in all the land, in all of the United F me running sideways states.
Well, we've got all types of weather, so it doesn't surprise me. And I know some people would argue that anytime the snow falls, we're all idiots once again. The first snowfall. We do get a lot of texts on that.
That's coming. It's coming, isn't it, Josh? We haven't had a big snowstorm yet this winter, but as soon as we do...
Well, there was some pretty bad stuff when we were gone.
Oh.
Quite a few crashes.
Oh, I missed it. I missed
a couple times.
Well,
anyway. My mom sent me a text when I was in Washington, D.C. to tell me about the roads in Minnesota.
Well, the first time we get a real keeper, everybody comes out the woodwork. And we get a lot of texts here at the radio station complaining about how nobody knows how to drive in the snow around here anymore. Not like I know how to drive in the snow.
Yep.
We get a lot of that static amongst ourselves here in Minnesota. Everyone thinks they're the champion of winter driving. And we haven't had that real big dumping yet. But this was the folks at maybe you hang out here, a website called Forbes Advisor. Did they have a hot chick of the day or anything that you look up? Okay.
No, I can't say I checked the site out, but I've been linked there from other websites for this type of thing. The Chive had something on it not too long ago.
Forbes
They have a lot to do with money, don't they?
They do.
Forbes?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm not on that site. I think if you have money, it'd be interesting. When you don't have money, you just don't care.
Yep.
More or less, the results of this best and worst drivers in America report, more or less it was based on fatalities. Based on each state's number of fatal crashes per 100,000 drivers. Some morbid subject, but that's how they did the arithmetic. And we ended up the second best state. We still have 50 states, right?
As far as I know.
Okay, fair enough.
Today's Alaska's birthday, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Alaska.
It was invented on this day.
Never saw it.
Invented.
But it was kind of confusing in here because I saw maybe it was the District of Columbia came up as the 51st best state. That's where I got thrown. Wait a minute, when did we get more than 50? But Minnesota, out of the 50 states, came in at number 49 as far as bad driving, which makes us the second best. Texas was the bottom of the barrel.
Really?
They just they cannot keep from killing each other on the roadways in Texas, according to the arithmetic.
Can you still drink in Texas when you drive?
I didn't know you ever could.
You can drink? Do you mean passengers?
Yeah. I always thought that was...
Yeah, drivers can't drink.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a federal...
I thought their passengers
all
could
51
or
states
something.
have that rule where you can't do that.
Yeah, Wapple, you can't just be slugging beers behind the wheel.
Yeah,
no, anywheres.
I thought that there was something there.
This is killing you, isn't it?
Can drink. Yeah.
He's just...
I don't know why.
No, there's something there. You've got something. I've heard something or another, but maybe it was a long time ago, something about passengers having the ability to drink. You got something cooking there. I can't put my finger on it, and obviously neither can you. And
I'm going to wake up tonight in my sleep and, there it is.
well, you got an internet set up in front of you, don't you?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Why don't you look at Smooth Up? Texas was... Congratulations, Texas. You are the worst drivers in the United States. And boy, I bet that butt hurts some of the hard-ons down there. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
The bottom of the barrel, I'll give you the bottom 10. 10 South Carolina, 9 Montana, 8 Arizona, 7 Wyoming. We got some wide open spaces here so far. 6. Okay, we'll continue with the wide open spaces. New Mexico, 5 Kentucky, 4 Oklahoma, 3 Kansas, 2 Louisiana, and 1, like I told you, Texas. I spent a pretty significant amount of time in Louisiana when I was a younger man. And I'll tell you this much. I've been to some places, haven't I, Cubby?
You've been to a lot of places. You just were in a place.
I went to a place while we were on Christmas vacation. I went to a place called Colorado. It's not a regular thing for me anymore to travel, but when I was younger, I traveled a little bit. And all I can tell you about Louisiana is in no other place on earth have I ever seen so many abandoned vehicles. It was quite mesmerizing. We used to drive a lot from Mississippi over to Louisiana. We'd go over to New Orleans. And in that stretch of road, it's been a long time, but I think it was like an hour drive. There were just abandoned vehicles upon abandoned vehicles lining the road. It was the oddest thing. I guess when something breaks down in Mississippi or Louisiana, you just say, piss on it.
This is where it lives now.
You just walk away from it. You don't make any phone calls or nothing. You don't call the tow truck driver. It's somebody else's problem now. It's the abandoned vehicle capital of America, Louisiana. And the better states were, well, like I mentioned, ourselves. Who else was up there towards the better states when it comes to driving? It was a lot of East Coast stuff like Rhode Island and Connecticut and things like that. South Dakota, for the rest of the Midwest, South Dakota was, or the 5-state area, I should say. South Dakota did all right. They turned up the 30th best drivers, or how should I say that? The 30th worst drivers, which makes them above average. Iowegians, 27. Wisconsin fell into the top 25 worst drivers at number 24. North Dakota didn't have a very good track record in here. North Dakota. But how about all that? I've said it before, I'll say it again. We always seem to win kind of the lamest contests, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good one, I think.
You know, I mean,
You're talking about deaths
I'm
here.
not trying to disregard. You know what I mean. We always seem to. We come off pretty buttoned down and straight laced, and
you want a World Series.
Yeah. I want something like that. I want a World Series title. I don't really care how we. So there you go.
I think people take pride in being a good driver. This is a good one.
Yeah, they do. You're one of the best I've ever seen, Jack.
I don't think so.
Behind the wheel of a motor vehicle.
So I just found out that in Texas, the driver can have an open container, but you have to be below 0.08.
So an open container is different, though.
Yeah, like they could be. From what I'm reading, you can have a beer open, but you have to be below 0.08.
Okay.
Right, open is different than drinking. That's what I'm saying. Is the law is you can drink as long as you're.
Yeah, it says that you just have to be below 0.08.
That is very interesting.
I've heard it before. Yeah,
I know a lot of people in Wisconsin that think that that's the law in Wisconsin too.
I'm sorry.
I know a lot of people when I lived over there. Roadies were a huge thing, like to go drinks at a bar. If you didn't finish your drink, they'd just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take it to go," and then just drive with it.
They think they're cute over there. Minnesotans invented road sodas. Don't let Wisconsin try to talk you into this and that. Minnesotans, my family specifically, invented road sodas when they got here from Germany in 1807. I'm tired of Wisconsin claiming, once in a while we take a drink in the car. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're the best ever.
You're special.
You know, the most scared I've ever been on the road was in Milwaukee. I thought, this is insane how fast people drive around here.
Really? I've never been there.
Chicago wasn't as bad just because you couldn't move.
Right, yeah. Any time of the day.
It's tough to be fearful when you've moved 10 feet in 10 minutes.
And
Okay.
it could be 3 a.m. in Chicago and it's still backed
It
up.
doesn't make any
Doesn't
sense.
matter.
You
Yep.
see, the last time those were my experiences the first few times I went to Chicago. It's so locked up there 24 hours a day, right? Those were my first experiences in Chicago. But the last couple times I've went there, traffic has loosened up and woo-wee do they go for it.
Is that right?
The last time I went to Chicago, which was, what is it now, January? This was probably June of last year. June, July, something like that. I drove to Chicago. And I'll be damned, do they get things cooking the closer you get to that city. We were absolutely flying down the roadway at 85, and it was like I was parked on the shoulder.
Although during the pandemic around here, people all of a sudden souped up their vehicles and decided they're going to double their normal speed. That was a thing for a while.
And
just less folks on the road.
You're damn right about that. It was lawless there for a while. And, speaking of my recent trip to Colorado, we got off the airplane in Denver and had to, we rented a car and went about an hour north of Denver. They don't play games over there either. Man, you can just let her buck. North of Denver, you can let her buck.
Have any of you ever been to New York? I've heard that that's an absolute nightmare.
I have
driving
never
there.
saw it.
Been in New York a lot. I've never once operated a motor vehicle, though.
Oh, okay.
That sounds terrifying.
It looks terrifying.
What do you mean a lot? Like how many times is a lot, out of curiosity?
Oh, I've probably been there 7 or 8 times.
Have you really? For what purpose?
Wow.
It's got to be the Bills?
Well, I got a buddy that lives out there who moved there after college.
Word. Yeah. But then again, I was surprised to hear this. Someone, while I was on my little vacation in Colorado, I was chatting with someone who spent, the first 18 years of their life in Minnesota and since then lives elsewhere, but they still visit once or twice a year. And they think that we are fast drivers. Because I was mentioning to this gal, I was saying, man, they really drive fast here in Denver or Colorado in general. And she said, yeah, they get it going. But she said, now that I only visit Minnesota periodically, but she visits all kinds of other places, she said, in her opinion, we drive pretty fast. I don't think I would ever say that.
I definitely wouldn't. Obviously, there's like the couple people on the road that just don't care and are speeding, but for the most part, it seems like everyone is going the speed limit or under the speed limit.
My experiences, I'd go along with that, Smashley. My experiences of driving in different parts of America, I think we're pretty reasonable around here. But it depends on who you are and what you've seen and where you've been, I guess.
Senior Love Daddy Jesus said he drives in Minneapolis and Milwaukee every week. Minneapolis is a school zone, he said, compared to Milwaukee.
Yeah, see, I drove through Milwaukee a couple times, and I guess I don't remember it being squirrely.
Man, that's the most nervous I've ever been on the road.
They were just bombing.
Yeah, it was. I thought, am I going backwards at 65 miles an hour? My car's rattling as people just drive past.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good stuff. So there you go. What was the name of that guy again? Senior Love Daddy?
Senior Love Daddy Jesus.
That's outstanding. Yeah, Wapple, I've heard that beer drinking thing in Texas a few times, like I was saying. It's been a while since I've heard that story about how you can have an open container as long as you're not above the legal. But, boy, I bet that just opens the door for trouble. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And how do you know?
Exactly.
I remember doing one of those State Patrol drinking experiments, and they were like, where would you think you're at? I'm like, I don't know, 0.03. And I was like a 0.09.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had no clue. But I suppose maybe if you're a more experienced drinker, you've got a better take on it, assuming you test yourself to figure it out.
Crazy fish guy, Jesus. He texted in to say he'll never drive in Boston or Vegas. Those places are lawless. I've been to Las Vegas, but we didn't get in a car.
Yeah, I was in Vegas. We were just on the Strip, and it was kind of the same thing where cars were not moving.
No. Yeah.
Anytime we were out there. Up at the crack of dawn, Jesus said, if you drive 94 towards Hudson, it's nuts. It's like the Cannonball Run. 75 is slow.
Yeah, see, you were talking about how fast you thought people were driving in Milwaukee, Josh. The last time I went to Milwaukee a few years ago, I mean, it was wide open once we got to the border and east. But the closer we got to the city, I thought it slowed down significantly. But, we were probably there at different times a day. Snot Rocket Sheezes has texted our program. And, of course, you can always get a hold of us. What's the number again? 651-989-9393. She says, Milwaukee is fast, but Minnesota is impatient. Comparing the drivers there. We're more impatient.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. I mean, you certainly see a lot of impatient drivers. And I actually think I can hold a record for the most cut-off dude in traffic. Yeah. It's insane. I told my wife this before, and she's seen it now. When we've driven together, she's like, you do get cut off all the time.
Why are you getting cut off?
I don't know.
Who would do that to Josh?
I don't know what's going on.
I never get cut off.
Yeah, oh. I mean, maybe I'm the right guy because I said, whatever. I guess you're in a hurry. That's fine. You go ahead. But it's kind of like almost I have a complex about it. Like, what is it about me where people just want to cut me off all the time?
On the topic of crazy driving here in the United States, I don't know who this is that texted in. Oh, I think I have it here. Happy Cappy Sheezes. On the topic of crazy drivers in the United States of America, she simply texted in, Arkansas, ... Oofda. So they must really get going down there in Arkansas, or as some would say, Arkansas.
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
We see money inefficiency, OG, around us all the time. We've got a few skeletons sitting out in the open, and maybe we need to broom them into the closet, if you know what I mean.
Nope, take that out. What is... Whatever you were going for didn't land right. Who's got a shovel and some lime?
Maybe you need to do that with your financial picture. I don't know.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
I got a feeling there's got to be something new in the lives of our broadcast pals over there, Josh, Dana, Wapple, and Smashley.
Yeah,
there's got to be. Lay it on us. What did we miss?
Nothing too crazy.
Ashley went to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that was fun. I went to Washington,
Why are you
DC.
speaking for Ashley?
Yeah, is that what changed? Ashley is, because when we were little, apparently my mom tells me for the first couple months my brother could speak, he would speak through me. He would tell me what I'm supposed to say to my parents.
Oh, he would?
Yeah, he would just kind of pass that along. And that kind of was a thing every once in a while. He'd speak through me. He just didn't want to talk to my parents for whatever reason. And I understand, at least, with one of them. So
why were you answering for
why did
Ashley?
you do this?
Ashley, did you make a resolution to hire Dana as your new agent or something?
Exactly. He doesn't get paid much,
You
though.
went to Washington, D.C. That's our nation's capital.
Yep.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
I also don't know if she's aware of that. You're aware of that, right?
Yes. I recommend, if you haven't ever thought of going there, to check it out, because it was so cool to see all the monuments. I went to the Holocaust Museum. That was rough. That was a rough museum to go through.
I would think so.
Took about 4 hours. Definitely needed some beer after that.
I'll be damned.
But it was great. The one thing I did notice, they're very honky over there.
Really? Like a lot of white people?
No.
A lot of country music stations.
No.
This is no way to start our first broadcast of the year 2024 with shocking statements like that.
No. Sorry. They love their horns on their cars. That is for sure. And it's very aggressive.
Okay. The drivers are a bit aggressive for your taste.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
first thought.
even heard my horn. I never use that thing. Maybe even when I should.
So you had a nice little trip out to Washington, D.C. Who's up next? What's new? Go ahead.
Nothing.
I'm surprised by that.
Really?
Have you started growing your own marijuana plants? A few people said that's what's new in their life. They're growing their own legal marijuana.
Hell yeah. Go for it.
Oh, I thought you meant hell yeah you had. You haven't.
No, I wish I could. It would just reek up the house.
Dana, is there anything you'd like to say about Wapple's time off? Or are you only speaking for Ashley?
I'm only contractually eligible to speak for Ashley, not
Just
Waffle.
her? Okay.
I guess I had I don't know. I guess my feelings were, I caught a vibe, Josh, when I walked in from the other three folks over there. I caught a vibe.
Something
and I thought,
seemed different.
I thought something big happened while we were gone, and all it was, Ashley...
I guess I do have a little something.
Go, dump it on us.
You guys
I'm
are
telling
gonna
you.
rip me for this,
I'm
probably.
telling you. We're going to do
That
what?
doesn't sound like us.
I officially on last Monday. Today would make it a day and a week. I quit smoking weed.
Really?
I'm not buying that.
Didn't
All right,
you do that
Waffle.
like 5 other times?
Yeah,
Yes, she has.
Yeah, I did. One time I have managed to quit for a whole entire year.
You'll be high by the end of the day.
But I've noticed that it just doesn't do what it used to do anymore. It kind of hasn't made my life better in any way in a really long time. So I thought, let's just cut it out. And honestly, it's been great.
You want to buy some
feeling.
weed?
Well, I'm glad that's working for you. I'm glad that's made an impact on your life. Wapple, I'd love it if you'd make a prediction on how long this will last. Because last year you thought Ashley would have 30 affected days. And we thought, boy, that does seem like a lot. Ashley almost was offended that in 2023 she'd have 30 days where she was at least a half hour late, if not gone for the whole day.
Okay, this is fun.
And she made it to 20. I think it was more than that, but you say 20.
Yeah, it was
so
20.
How many days? And you've been, so today's only...
Oh, it's 8 days.
8 days, okay.
Okay, you haven't smoked
not
any
counting
grass.
Those days, starting right
Yeah,
now.
starting right now.
You haven't smoked any grass in 8 days, just like last year when Wapple made a prediction about how many days you would screw up at work.
Let's credit her from January 1st.
I would say 2.5 months. So that would be like 90 days, something like
Well,
that.
damn
wouldn't it?
near.
All right,
Almost.
all right.
Okay, so...
We need an official prediction,
days.
Wapple.
And
We
again,
need
we're
it.
starting from January 1st. So how many days?
Will she go?
Just throw it out. Just throw a day out.
How long will she go before she starts smoking
Or
marijuana
throw it-
again?
Yeah, and just a date. Throw a date out.
Oh, a date. I was going to go like 73 days.
Yeah, but that's tough to... You'll have to count that. Just throw a date out.
Let's go February 27th.
Is that even a real date? I've never even heard of that. February 27th.
Yeah, we got 20... Don't we have 29 days of
Yeah,
February
we have
this
an
year?
extra day of February this year.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go. We'll
February
go.
27th.
February 27th.
Tuesday, February 27th.
She'll make it that far.
Yeah, she'll
Okay.
start smoking weed after that date.
Okay.
All
That's fun. We got something to follow now. Just like Josh was saying, last year we followed how many days Ashley would be late or completely miss work. This year, how many days can she go without dope?
I'm going to say by January 20th, she'll be smoking weed again.
Back at it?
That's not that many days away, Cubby.
January, that's like 2 weeks.
We're happy for you,
2 weeks
Ashley,
and
that
3
you're
days.
trying to make an effort to make your life better. But
Absolutely.
We're just not completely convinced. So
I understand.
We've been hurt before, Ashley.
I don't know how many times you've told us that you've smoked marijuana and then 2 or 3 days later you're high on marijuana. So we'll let this buck. And what are we putting on this? Is there anything?
Some over under.
Is there any? Well, no. I mean, is there anything
You want
that
to make
someone
it interesting?
Is there something that someone can win or lose?
I'm trying to think of something that won't involve me spending any money.
We'll worry about that later.
We'll put
right
Dana
now,
on the bridge, either way.
Dana's on.
Dana's on a bit we used to do where we'll throw him on the Washington Avenue Bridge with a demeaning sign, ask people to honk at him. You know, all those honkies out there.
Ashley, if you screw up and you don't make it to February 27th, we're going to punish Dana by putting him out on the Washington Avenue Bridge with a what's the word you used about the sign?
A
With
demeaning sign.
Demeaning sign.
So think
Fair enough.
that might be some motivation for you. You don't want to put Dana out on that
why
bridge.
would you do that to me? I'm your spokesperson.
I'll try my hardest.
Put Dana on the bridge.
Okay, so people are wondering if there's any loopholes here. Now, does this mean no marijuana consumption whatsoever, including edibles?
Yes.
And seltzers and
Yep,
things like
and
that?
no, what's that? CBD either.
So none of that wacky stuff that everyone's the gummy bears and the seltzer drinks and nothing.
Nope, no,
All right,
no,
cool.
no cannabinoids.
Can we trust you? Can we fully trust you to be honest with us?
Yes.
Can we really trust you?
Yep, I'll tell you guys the truth.
All right.
I just find it hilarious that I've now gotten high more recently than you have.
Everybody's getting
weird.
high nowadays.
I know.
I thought you don't do that anymore, Dana. I thought you've had a few moments where you're like, I'm way too high.
Gotten better at it.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think I'm the only person that I hang with anymore. Even my old buddies. I'm the only one who's not just pouring fistfuls of marijuana gumdrops into their mouth every night.
I'm not.
Everybody's high.
I'm not. Even though my drug pusher / wife has been weird about it, like since it became legal, and my wife has never been drunk one time in her life.
Really?
Right.
Really?
Never at all. I mean, and all the
She's like
bad decisions she's made with men, not one was related to any substance whatsoever.
That's shocking.
It is shocking.
Never been drunk.
It's almost disappointing because I'm like, you were with that particular person or what?
And it had nothing to do with beer or shots or
Nope,
anything?
Nothing.
Wow.
I even wondered, was there a second-hand high? Was there
Right.
something? I need something. I married you. I can't have that be just a sober decision.
But she tries to get you on dope.
She has forever,
Yeah.
right? And
Because she
under the
thinks
guise,
it'll help your overall stress levels and things like that.
Yeah, and I know some people know I have epilepsy, and that's something that is helpful for some people. But I've been lucky enough with medication to control it. I've been very lucky, and I know that's not everybody's situation. So, and actually, I was asked to be a part of a study when they were first trying to legalize it medicinally, and I passed on it. It just, for whatever reason, it just didn't seem for me. And I had a few people tell me I was a complete moron, that I could have had free marijuana, and I passed on it. But so then, since this has become legal, she's like, we should do it. We should do it. We should do some gummies or something like that.
I've considered it myself, actually.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
I've considered it myself.
That'd be sweet to be with you guys.
You guys had talked one time, like the two of you guys just, you lock the door, just the two of you guys together, and you fistful some gummies and just kind of be stoned together. I think that would be very cool.
I think if it was a gummy bear I was having, I'd eat the arm. I wouldn't risk. I mean, I've heard and I know the stuff we have here is supposed to be pretty light, but I've never done any of that stuff, and it makes me a little nervous because I don't know how I'm going to be.
Well, that brings up my next question. Josh and I getting high together, or either one of us getting high separately. If I eat some of those gummy worms or whatever this crap is that everyone's eating, Is it going to feel like it felt when I used to get legitimately high from smoking weed in high school? It has that same feeling? Or is it different? Because here's why I ask, because I want that old high feeling that I had in high school.
I think you would get that feeling.
Okay.
Because it's been so long since you've smoked it and your tolerance is down.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be like you were using it for the first time in your life.
All right, cool. It's something I've considered. You know, I even walked into one of those
dispensaries?
A suppository? What did you call it?
Oh, no, suppository is different.
You said dispensary?
Yeah,
I walked
suppository. That's how you eat like a Cheez-It or something like that.
I walked into one
it.
of those damn places. Speaking of...
Here in town?
No. Speaking of, what was I just asking you about? You know, what's new with you? What's new with our listeners? What's new with Ashley, Dana, and Wapple? Something new happened to me. I guess new in a sense that I haven't done it in 15 years or something. While we were away from work, for the first time in, my guess is 15 or so years, I took an airplane ride.
That's impressive.
That is.
Whoa, dude. Are you feeling okay?
Well, you should have asked me that before I agreed to go on 2 of them. Because
we were texting and you seemed calm.
Yeah, we had to, I took 2 airplane rides because, of course, we went somewheres and then I wanted to come home. So then we had to fly there and then fly back. I went to Colorado.
Dude, I've always wanted to go there.
To visit my my in-laws, my wife's folks. And, so I got on 2 airplane rides. And I hadn't done that in many, many, many years. And I friggin' hate airplane rides. I hate every single solitary second of it. From the time you step into the airport, I hate it. But I went through with it, and it was flawless. Both rides were absolutely flawless. I hated it, but it was all right.
What is it, just a few hours?
Oh, hell.
It's quick up and down.
It's an hour and a half.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
I get out to Denver a few times a year. I absolutely love that.
And after 5 minutes, I couldn't wait for it to be over. But I made it. And I didn't take any drugs.
That's what I had asked you if you, because I know in the past you've gotten some prescription stuff.
I went dry. No dope, no nothing. Yeah, in the past I used to drink a bottle of vodka and a bucket full of Xanax. I didn't go with any of the drugs. And I'll tell you what, I loved it out there. And we went to Estes Park, Colorado. It was crazy driving some of those mountain roads, Josh.
Yeah, I've been there 3 times, twice with you. Not that part of... Well, actually, I have no idea where that part of Colorado is. I've been to Vail with you for the X Games.
That's right. I forgot. We went to the X Games.
And I was in Colorado Springs with... I went to a wedding in Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. If I was ever going to move, I could see moving there or Montana with Wapple and we buy a ranch together.
Right.
And then anybody that slightly irritates us in any way, we're taking them to the train station.
Yeah, you're done.
I dug it, man.
You're going home.
I dug it. But yeah, so while we were in Colorado, we walked into one of those suppositories.
Aren't they beautiful in there?
No. What are you talking about? Where's the beauty? It was your typical shop.
Some of them are very pretty.
No, it was just
like they got the glass cases. There's lights everywhere.
It sounds like a jewelry store, Wapple.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Beautiful.
It wasn't that beautiful. It was just a regular joint with some counters and some drugs.
You got gummies over here. You got your drinks over there.
I wasn't as thrilled. I wasn't quite as thrilled as you're making it out to be. Sure. Yes, Wapple, thank you for the rundown of all of the...
A cash register.
I don't know how to convince him. It wasn't that great. Listen.
A men's room, a women's room.
There was electricity and running water, yes.
Security
Jesus
guard.
Christ. You're the one who needs to quit smoking weed.
There was one of those velvet ropes.
Ashley's not the one with the problem.
Recessed lighting.
Well, I'll tell you what I did notice about it. So we walked into one of these joints because someone in our party wanted to get some gumdrops. The dude behind the counter wasn't so much sitting in his chair as he was laying on it. There's no way this guy could have had any worse posture while sitting up front in order to check people in and out of the joint. I almost wanted, when I walked in, I thought maybe he was wounded. You know, people who just, they lay on their chair. You know what I mean? Just,
I get that way.
this is the dude. It's like, He's laid completely back on his chair. I came this close to saying, "Are you all right?"
Do you need me to call somebody?
How high are you?
We walk in. I mean, he's got a completely straight look on his face. He appeared not to be happy to be there, but he's lying basically on his chair. We walk in. There's silence. We're expecting him to, and finally he just says this. "What's up?" Like, "Oh, we're here for the drugs, you know." But anyway, couple of plane rides, everything went fine. It's not like I'm going to suddenly become some world traveler. Like I said, 5 minutes into it, I hated it. But we got her done.
A good friend of the show, Asian Cop Jesus, he opened his own dispensary. And he delivered a bunch of edibles. I gave him to my mother-in-law. She's kind of a hippie pothead, right? She loves that kind of stuff. So I have, like I said, I had him in my possession. Oh, I'm a drug mule.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
I just got really cool. I didn't even realize that.
It's all right to be a drug mule.
I brought drugs from one location to another.
Aren't they dumbing down the laws against such things? You'll be all right.
I shouldn't have keistered him. I was a little nervous, but still.
We helped
nice
you get it up there, you know, as good friends do.
Josh keistered legal drugs.
Right. And it was in a very ouchy bag.
I do remember you actually being nervous, like, dude, I need to put these in the trunk. Like, what do I, am I allowed to drive with these? Yeah, you're just fine, man.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.